Even after heavy rains, this road is still solid and stable. Again, that's the value of finding historic roads and clearing them out. Now, can this road be improved? It certainly can. This side up here is a little high, and we could cut a ditch in that and move that soil down to the bottom to make the road a little bit more level. And then we can come in and find some of these mounds of dirt out here and clear those up to set up some berms on this lower side to grow vegetation. Now, there isn't a road right below here as well. So clearing out that lower road for at least a walking path or a bike path will give us some extra value. But ultimately, if you can slow and spread the water here, this is definitely an inroad into the wooded areas to be running goats, to be running small animals, and to get this area cleared up, moving in towards the elevation and away from our low areas. Again, remember, these cleared paths and these roads are going around our level areas, our high spots on the property. And the roads are as contour as we could make them, paying close attention to historic roads. By the way, I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. One of the consulting services that I do is help homeowners, landowners, property owners get more value from their land, and to do so without clearing the land. I know you got land like this. I know you got land with briars and brush and nothing but rabbits are getting through there. Well, with the right design, you can start clearing the way to get better access to your property. Now, I know this road was dug out of here about 1980s, and you can see piles of dirt along the way where they dug this road out. Now, did they do a real good job digging it out? They did well enough. You can see here that it is a semi-level road. We can make the road better, but we don't have to, because we cleared it in such a way that we're going to get maximum use out of the property as it is. Sure, there's some little sumps and little holes and stuff that need to be tuned up, but this will not be sheeting a large amount of water off of it. Now, could this road had reconnected with that road down there? See, there was a down over the hill, there's another road. Yeah, I could have cleared that one, but I had to make a decision. I want paddocked areas for animals. I don't necessarily have to access all of the land. So what you'll see going down the hill there in front of us is more land, but it doesn't have to be open. What I did instead is took the road, crowned around the hill here so that we can get more access to what is level, what is good for pasture, what is good for running goats and small animals, and what eventually might become a home site. Now, this I know is a road because you can see under here all this stone, and there's a lot of stone through here. Some of it's natural, some of it was dumped here. And yeah, I could come in and cut these trees out, maybe get a few dollars for it in timber, but the next couple of years of taking out the dead stuff, see, we've got some leaners in here, we've got some deadfall. Next couple of years of taking that out is going to give me firewood. It's going to give me a little wider access point here. It's going to give me some shade if I have animals out here, and ultimately give me more, again, utility value for the land. I already have a buddy of mine, he's out here, he can come out here and hunt. I don't know much about hunting, I'm going to learn. My focus is habitat. We got deer cameras out here. You can see why I girded some trees. These two trees need to come out, and they're going to become a pole shelter. We're going to make a small pole warehouse for animals when they do get out here. But again, we didn't have to do a lot. We simply found the old infrastructure, cleared it out, and see, you can see we marked all the barbed wire. There used to be old barbed wire fences in here. So we got all the infrastructure cleared up. We've got a little turnaround back here. We've got more trails to go back into the woods. Now, are all these trails this wide? No, they're not all this wide. The key thing is we make them as wide as we need them for what we're going to do. We have one major access road all the way to the back of the property. It has a turnaround. And then from that access road, we go down to the perimeter and some bisections. So we go around the property line. So this road in the back goes around the property line. And then we have some cross sections across contour lines. It's so important, contour lines. Now, there were old trails back there. So fortunately, animals And most humans that are doing agricultural activity will tend to move across contour because they don't want to go up or downhill with a wagon. So for example, when this had cows on it, probably 50 years ago, they don't want to be dragging a hay wagon up a hill. They want to be taking that across the hill. So we found those trails, we found those paths, we opened them all up. How did I know they were there? I geotagged the piles of rocks and a few gate posts I found. And then I took those onto a map, looked at historical photographs, found access points, found roads, found other means of just where the vegetation wasn't growing in, and those became our access paths. We used paths. I know we talked about a forest mulcher for quite a bit. The forest mulcher came down and turned it from briars and muck and these little tiny trees into this great, nice, beautiful path. Now I'm going to put grass seed on it because we have a little bit of grass that was already there, but I'm going to seed this thing out, see if we can't get some pasture in here. Do I need pasture in here? Not really, but the grass will help hold the soil in place, and it's something I can easily mow. And then of course, if we have goats in here, I could put a goat shelter on this strip from here to the truck. You know, you could get 3 or 4 goats in here, and you can slowly start expanding the fence line this way and start taking care of those briars. Then from this point here, it depends on where we're going to have water, we can run wedges out into the overgrown area, and goats will come through. They'll eat all this stuff. Goats will eat all this thin stuff right here, and they'll eat all these briars, and they'll get all that stuff out of there and clean those woods up. Now once the woods are more clean, it's more hunting space. Once the woods are clean, we can start expanding the operation, find a place to put a permanent shelter. We're going to build the shelter for the goats on skids. But again, we want to get all these briars out because, man, when I was coming through here surveying, walking through this stuff is not fun at all. And you can see where trees were pushed over and they regrew. I'm still surveying the types of trees out here. So 2 things I want you to go away with. First off, when you buy a piece of property or you see a piece of property, clearing it off should not be the first thing in your mind. In fact, seeing something nasty like this is a good reason to bring the price down on the property. Oh, that's a nice piece of property for a location, but you know, it's covered with briars and small trees. There's no timber value in that. And you know, I could see doing it for $10,000 less. See, it's a negotiation thing, but don't think about clearing it right away. There's a lot more things that you can do. There's a lot of deer trails in here, by the way. I'm just looking at how the plants are laid over. Again, I don't hunt. I'm more tracking. I am going to learn how to hunt, but the habitat part I felt was more important than getting out to hunt right away. So I started learning about the habitat. We're going to build the habitat first. See, you get that piece of property, if you don't clear it off, you start building that deer habitat. You start building the different kinds of animal habitat. You start doing surveys. What kind of plants are out there? I can see some ferns in there. That's nice. You know, it's January right now, so there's not much to see. So we got some cedars in here, little scrub cedars. But again, the second thing you want to do is, what do you want with that property? What do you want to do with the property? And maybe you should even think about that before you buy it. But if you want to hunt on that property, if you want to hike on that property, if you want to camp on that property, well, geez Louise, we could have a couple tents down a row right here, a little kitchen setup, camp this thing out every day of the week if we wanted to. I'm actually looking at getting a wall tent, and I'd put the wall tent next to the shed down here. I got a little clearing out. We're not going to walk down there and look at it, but I want you to understand this. A lot of folks are going to tell you to just clear it off. Get a bulldozer, and you could just bulldoze that thing. Now, I'm telling you, man, you get roads on it. Look at this. That's clover. Now, I seeded it for clover. I seeded it for pasture blend. But imagine if we had 2 foot of grass down in here, how much protein, how much nutrients that is for a couple animals. Now, I'd lose my access route, so I'd want to have half of it for road and half of it for animals going into the wooded area. I want to run them into the woods. To get them in the woods, you put temporary fence up. You take down your deadfall because you don't want that to fall on your fence. And then you put some temporary fence in there. And then you start getting yourself, getting some cleared areas out. And there's already going to be some patches because these woods were cleared out a long time ago. But even if there's big trees, you got an opportunity. Next, if you got this grass here and it's all beautiful like that, you come out here and mow it, and then you camp for the weekend. See, man, there's a lot you can do with a piece of property before you even get it cleared off. Because remember, when you clear it and get your well dug, in some areas, you're going to have to not only get that well, but you have to get a septic and electricity and everything on a construction permit and have to be done with it in 12 months. You might not be ready for that. You might have gotten the right piece of land at the wrong time. I'm telling you that we can help you make it the right piece of land right now. Not only that, is if it did have timbered trees on it. Now, some people have suggested to come out here and select cut, because you look at that nice one right there. But I don't want that. I want some shade out here. I want to give that tree a couple more years, and then we're going to get some other crops out here. Now, there's a number of small crops you can do under canopy, including mushroom logs, including, this is all kinds of stuff. I don't have time to go in right now. Click the link below. I'm losing my light. I got another place to go to get some work done. Click the link below. Join our mailing list at Prosperity Homestead. Write with your questions, and I will show you how to manage land projects and also to get more from the land you have. These are the biggest trees on the property, ladies and gentlemen. Most of the land is like this. And if you've got overgrown scrub land, degraded land, I want you to buy every acre you can get your hands on, because I want to help you be confident that not only you can start using the land right away, we're going to do hunt leases on this land. See, I want to get that habitat so strong that somebody else who wants to hunt will pay me to come out here, because when they do the walkthrough, I've done walkthroughs with 2 people, by the way, and they were just salivating. They're like, oh my gosh, I got a clean shot with a good backstop. They found 4 or 5 places I wouldn't even imagine to be good for hunting, but I knew they were good for habitat because the food areas were there. You could put a food plot right down the middle of here. But let me tell you, land prices are going crazy. So not only do you, when you get the piece of land, you need to cash flow that land immediately. We can help you do that. I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. Visit www.prosperityhomestead.org. I'll answer any questions you've got. Write me a letter. We're not going to talk on the phone. I've been pretty busy lately. But send me a letter, send me a fax, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, because there is opportunity in land, especially feeding your family, especially hunting and recreation, especially improving land quality. You know, these paths aren't about coming out here and tearing it up with a 4-wheeler. It's about increasing the value of the land, increasing the ecological value of the land, attracting bigger, stronger bucks out here. I'm starting to hear the rain go. I got to go. Thanks for watching. Visit www.prosperityhomestead.org.